Hi, I'm Mike Hamilton. I'm over here at Lithia Toyota Reading, and behind me I have a 2022 GR86 base automatic. I'm going to go over the vehicle and tell you about all the features, and I'm going to put it on the road and take it for a test drive. Stay with me, I'll be right back. Starting off in 2007, Toyota and Subaru went into collaboration with each other, designing this vehicle together, and came up with what Toyota called the Scion FRS, and then in Subaru it's known as the BRZ. The FRS name went away when Toyota decided to get rid of Scion in North America, and now just calls it the 86, and now we're in our second generation of this new 86, and I hear the BRZ is just about to enter the market. They will both be tuned differently, so they're not going to be the same. So let's just go over the big stuff, the features that everybody's looking for. What is it capable of doing? It is quite a bit quicker than the old model by far. So you have two transmissions available to this vehicle. You have a automatic 6-speed with sequential shifting with paddle shifters, and then you have a manual transmission, which is in the 0 to 60 about a half a second faster than the automatic version, even though they're both powered the same. They make about 25 or so horsepower roughly. One of the big things is it hits its max peak foot-pounds or torque at a much lower RPM at 3,000 less RPM than the old model. So right now it has 228 horsepower, 184 foot-pounds, and has a max foot-pounds that it peaks out at 3,000 less than the old model. Just on my quick drive over here to our off lot, it is quite quick, even though this is the automatic version of the vehicle. Redline, it's going to redline at 7,500 RPM. And also there is a little speaker underneath the dash to give you a little bit of an exhaust note to make it sound a little bit more throaty while you're driving it. So let's go around and talk about this vehicle. In here, again, making 228 horsepower, 184 foot-pounds. And I do like that they didn't put the big old gigantic plastic cover over it like you see on the Supras. You can actually see what's under the hood. Also, that hood was extremely light. That is an aluminum hood for sure. It is extremely light. It's not a steel hood. Cutting down the weight so we could get more performance out of this vehicle. They do have some insulation here for sound deadening in here, so I'm looking at that. But everything's super clean in here, just looking through everything. Let me back that camera out so we could get to the, kind of a whole engine look at everything there. Batteries to the back. Just everything's well put together. Again, you got opposing cylinders, which is what a boxer engine is. And again, Toyota and Subaru designed this vehicle together in collaboration with each other. So Toyota's money helped invest on it, and then Subaru builds the vehicle. If it wasn't for each other, this vehicle wouldn't even exist, because it'd be too much money for R&D for either one of them to do it for the amount of sales they're going to get there. So they would not have spent this kind of money on a low production vehicle. So completely different. Going into this model year is a much more squared off, more bolder front end on there. I guess they've been always doing this honeycomb or chain link fence type grille on it. You do have full LED headlights, high beams, and turn signals with LED accent lighting on this one here. This is not going to carry the Toyota safety sense. They're using Subaru's EyeSight on here, so the full suite of EyeSight is only available to the automatic. You do not get adaptive cruise control in the manual transmission of the vehicle. So let's kind of look up here, and you can see up there, and there's a couple little cameras in there. It's kind of hard to see that, but let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. We're kind of getting a reflection from the sky there. So something I can't really show you exactly. The rims are different than the premium vehicle. The premium that we had earlier had black wheels. You have a machine polish with some black there with Michelin tires. These tires are less grippy than the tire that you're going to get on the premium. And you can see they did some kind of air stuff here for aerodynamics in here. One of the things I do like that we do have a proximity key on here, so opening and closing the door, you just walk up to the handle. I'll feature that in a second there. Let's go over the Monroney sticker first before I do that. So you have a MSRP of this vehicle is $30,474. Everything on the left side is your stuff that's standard equipment, as you see. Accessory equipment, the only thing this thing has accessory wise is just floor mats. I don't think there's really much else you could put on it. It does not come with a spare tire, but it has a well to it if you want to buy an aftermarket spare tire. One of the things here, just because of the way it's geared, the gear ratios on it, for a 4-cylinder, it just gets poor gas mileage. But hey, if you're driving this, you want to take it to the track, you want to have some fun on the mountain roads, there you go. This could still be a daily commuter and also be your nice track car on the weekend for having fun or going up onto the windy mountain roads and having a real fun experience with that. Mirror caps do not match the paint. They're black mirror caps on here, and I don't think we had any blind spot monitors. We do not have that on there. Most of the Toyota's proximity keys have been like for anything bland. And this key actually is an attractive looking key. I like it. So let me show you this key here. So this is your front of the key. They could have put 86 on there, and if going to the Supra, putting BRZ on the back. They're doing that with, say, like the Venza from Toyota's got kind of a cool looking key. But most of their proximity keys have been just pretty lame for the most part. You got a unlock lock, and you also have the trunk release here. And then you have your panic alarm. If somebody's coming up, you could run up and push that button, make the car honk, and hopefully scare away anybody that's coming towards you. Let's go ahead and show you the proximity on this. This is those two notches. If I put my fingers on a notch, I will lock it. Okay, you heard that click. Unlock it as simple as grabbing this handle and opening it. Just like that. So let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Now they have some nice soft touch leathers in here. I believe these are natural leather. I haven't researched that, but from what I've seen, I believe we're getting natural leathers in the vehicle that has leather and stuff and all that. Coming to the dash, we have soft touch on the dash. We do have some hard plastic here. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the inside from the driver's side. Good size infotainment screen. I do like that they put it lower and not up above with that new heads up display, which I think is some sort of a law that's going into effect where you have to have those things above there so your eyes are still on the road while you're looking at your infotainment screen. And I will go over the stuff in the inside. So being this is a base, we do have a full cloth seat. When we go to the premium, there's a leather edge trimmed on the exterior, and then some sort of a soft kind of a felt type finish in the middle. They have a name for it. I forget that name. The shifter is automatic, but it does look to be a manual transmission on that. We will go over that once I go on the inside. Let's continue on. Going towards the back, we have our fuel door. It is on the passenger side. Most of everything Toyota does usually has their fuel doors on the driver's side. And you push it to open it. I wish they would go to where they have just a nozzle like you see with some of the other models where you don't have an actual spinner cap, but they have not done that. One of the big changes you're going to see versus the premium versus this standard basic is this rear spoiler is better than the old, but the newer the premium is much more pronounced and larger. It looks mostly like what the Supra looks like, a little different, but it totally reminds me of that. And then they are throwing on rear parking sonar for you, which is pretty cool for a basic model to have rear parking sonar. Of course, we have our trunk here, we have our backup camera here. I will show the backup camera screen when we're in the vehicle and show you what that looks like. And then you see stuff like here, like wind vortex generators on here. This helps scrub off that bad air. You'll find those probably in the front too. That's something Toyota does, and all the manufacturers comes from aeronautics. And up on top we have our shark fin for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, XM radio, satellite maps, and all those things. And then hard to tell in this light here, but this has a little scooped out thing on the roof there. Like, it's not as pronounced as you see with the Supra, but basically this, from when we had it next to a Supra, my first video, it looks like a baby Supra for the most part. So, but I think this is going to really sell. It's not so expensive that it's out of most people's price range. Even the 4-cylinder Supra starts at like $47,000. If you're into the inline 6, you're looking at $57,000. Although we don't sell them that well, so we'll definitely give you some money off of one of them things if you want one of those. Just kind of giving you that look for it. Let me back out this camera, give you that side profile again, and just kind of looking around this here. Okay, let's head into the inside. All right, let's go take a look at the driver's side. Same thing as we're going to see on the passenger side as far as the fit and finish, the materials in here. So we have that cloth insert here. We have our leathers here. Leather stitching looks good. A nice size bottle holder. We have our power windows, full auto. It looks like here's your unlock button there. You have your mirror, power mirrors there. And then coming to here, we do not have a power seat. And I did not look at the premium, so I'm not 100% sure if that has a power seat or not on it. We have our threshold protection here so you don't scratch the paint coming in and out. We have one of the speakers in the door. Now, there is some cheapness on this. On some portions of the vehicle, especially when you close and you're not using it, you have plastics in here, plastics here, plastics here. Gauge dimmer, you have your trunk release right there, vents that move around, and then down below we just have regular pedals. We do have a leather edge wrapped steering wheel with the GR in the middle. I think that's a nice touch to this vehicle. We got leather emergency brake and leather for the gear shifter there. And again, this does have paddle shifter, so even though this is an automatic, you can still have quite a bit of fun with it. Back seats will come down, and I noticed this here. I put this in here so you could put your seat belt through here and then snap it up, and I guess you would have that to take off so passengers can get into the back seat. They are pretty bucketed out and cut out themselves. It's not going to fit anybody but a little kid, so adults would be extremely uncomfortable. If you're over 6 foot, forget it. So you're just not going to be able to do anything with that. But let's go ahead and move inside and start this thing up and start talking about it. All right, we are inside. So let's go over your steering wheel here real quickly. Again, love this GR on here. This nice touch. The steering wheel is completely got a nice feel to it. And then you have your sources for your radio, volume picking up and hanging up your cell phone on here, horn in the middle, of course. And then on this side, you got your eyesight information here and your driver's infotainment screen that's in the middle. I will go over that once we fire it up, but you're going to have your adaptive cruise control, your lane keep, and all that stuff. You do not get the full suite in the manual transmission. With the manual, you can't do adaptive cruise control. Look at this killer button right here for the start button. GR again, that is so cool. So let me go ahead and fire this bad boy up. All right. We do have a digital display throughout here. No analog gauges on here. So we have right now we're getting our fuel economy, outside temperature, how much fuel this vehicle has to empty, and then we could go through this screen here. It looks like our accelerator here, kind of looks like almost like a roll and pitch type screen. Your XM radio, this is your lane trace assistance, and then it has exactly the same older controller. I'm surprised they didn't change that for that. And then there's your lane trace or adaptive cruise control with your lane trace on there. You have 3 seconds, 2.5, and 2 seconds. Well, actually, looks like maybe 4 seconds. There's a fourth bar on there. So I'd have to see, but that's exactly the same thing they use with Toyota there, even though this is Subaru. And then you have all your stuff here for your interactive safety equipment, pre-collision, lane departure alerts, possible steer assist. I'd have to check on that parking sonars on. And then you have eyesight and turning things on, your volumes and warnings. No messages, just like with Toyota. If this had a issue, even though it's electronics, well, it is a Toyota, but as far as the Toyota system has the same thing. If there's a problem, this will become your only screen and tell you what's wrong with the vehicle. You have a dual gauge here, so you have RPM gauge and a miles per hour gauge in the middle there, so which is really neat. Let's continue on to the rest of the screen here. So we have dual climate controls. I have it on sync. I do like these buttons here. This is kind of something you would see more like a Jeep and stuff, but we got our front defrost, rear defrost, heated mirrors, our different modes for air and different flows. I like that a lot. You have your inside outside air. Sync is what we have it on right now. We have our different sources and things we want to use for changing the radio or multimedia. This does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on here, and you have shortcuts and vehicle information. Roadside assistance is all part of this. You have your shifter on here. So looking at your shifter here, we have a 6-speed transmission, automatic, and it has a sequential mode by flipping it over here, and I could bump those gears up and down through that, or I could use my positive and negative paddle shifters, and I tried that, and boy, this thing got up to like 60 miles an hour, nothing. So really neat on that. We have our emergency flashers are up here. So I showed you how the turn signals work. We have just a basic standard mirror. I didn't look at the premium, see if it has a auto dimming mirror with memory link and all that. And we do have dome lights that seem to be incandescent instead of LED. That's an easy upgrade. SOS, this is something a few of the manufacturers are sharing with each other here. If you're ever in an emergency, you could push that button. If you're in an accident where airbags deploy, the call center will be reaching out to you, asking you need help. They will know your GPS coordinates. They'll know how fast you were going at the time of your accident. Also there's roadside assistance as part of that too. And also I know with the Toyotas, there's complimentary stolen vehicle locator for a period of time. I think it's for the first 3 years. I think that would carry on because this is the Toyota model. I'm not sure if Subaru does the same exact thing. We have our sun visor here. No lighted vanity mirror, so that's kind of a bummer. And let me see if these slide over. They do not. So no slide over on that. And then you got your dash there. It's all soft touch. This is all soft touch, so they didn't get too cheap on this. We have a glove box down here. This is the center console here. It's got a easy, like nice leather finish on here. Big cup holder. That's where I stored the proximity key. Push this button, opens up. We have, looks like a couple of USB-C, not USB-A. See, we have a USB-C at all. No, 2 USB-As and an aux, and 2 cup holders are on here. No USB-C on this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the backup camera. So you can see the backup camera, pretty big screen. That looks like at least a 9, if not a 10-inch on here, and really good clarity there. It's good definition. And then you have your lines where you're at, and then your predictive line. All right, let's go for a ride. So just going to take this up, get it up to speed, Not going to be doing anything crazy. I don't own it. It belongs to the store. It's for sale. But let's give it a little go. See how it picks up. Right there. Again, I'm Mike Hamilton at Lithia Toyota Ready, and hope you enjoyed this video. So what a neat little sports car. You're looking for something that's inexpensive but you could have a lot of fun with. Here you go, $30,000, barely more than a loaded Corolla. You could get into this and have a whole bunch of fun with it. It's not going to be the family vehicle. It is considered a four-seater, but nothing but little kids are going to fit back there. You do have that fold-down back seat to flat, so you do have a little bit of cargo space. But just getting out and enjoying it and having fun. You know, again, you could get the premium with the that has a little bit more features. You could get the manual. That's going to be a little bit more fun than that. The gear ratios are deeper through each one, and you could really shift it a lot harder. Going to make that sports feeling fun, so you could go to work on Monday through Friday and go to the local track on the weekend and have some playtime with this thing. Again, I want to thank you for watching this video. We'll see you next time.